Okay, guys, let's do a 1-1-1 TVT. Um, so we're gonna 11 gas, get our barracks, get a fast factory. Um, First things first, guys, is that when you're gonna do the 11 gas in this, and you're gonna get the barracks, the 11 gas. It's better to take this SCV that's building the depot and actually send it back to mine, and also the SCV, the ninth SCV that's coming out of your command center. Don't send this to go make the barracks over here. Actually, send it to mine, and because it's better just to get the gas and the barracks like at the same time. And so, like I said, just send this back to mine. It's a small thing. You don't have to do it, but it's just better a little bit to mine. You need the minerals, and you're just trying to get the factory, right? So you don't need like a quick marine or anything like that. So 3 on gas, obviously. We're gonna make the factory and a marine right away, and then pause at 16 supply to get the second depot. Okay. Sorry, just having a sip of coffee. So, no SCV, Marine, Depot. We're gonna talk about this really quick too, because I think people are gonna ask like, about the SCVs on gas and like your opponent coming. Like, should you like with their scouting SCV? Should you pull these off of gas, and then put them back? No, guys, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, your opponent doesn't know if you're a two facting, if you're going 1-1-1. I mean, as long as you kill the scouting SCV before you put down your starport or your machine shop for that matter, which you should be able to get it out of your base before then, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Trust me, even if they know it's coming, you're gonna be able to still win. It doesn't matter. So don't pull them off. Next thing is we're gonna make 4 Marines, and we're also gonna cut supply or cut SCVs at 20 supply, and we're gonna need a third depot, but we don't make the depot until after we get the starport and the machine shop. So right away, machine shop, starport. I canceled that SCV, and then yeah, there you go. Uh, Another depot, and from here on out, you can squeeze SCVs in as you can afford it. And that's kind of something that's just going to take some time of practicing the build to see when you can squeeze them in or not. You're not always. It's not going to be super intuitive like the first time you do it, right? I don't have like a build order for you past this where I'm telling you how many SCVs to make, right? So you're cutting SCVs to do this essentially. So you pause here because you need to get a tank right away, and then you need to get a wraith, and then you need to get another tank, and then you need to get siege, and then we have some decision making on what we do after that, which we'll go over when we get there. This guy happens to go 15 CC, so if they go 15 CC, the build is like you're gonna auto win. So this is a different move out than I would normally do. I'm only going early because I know it's here and I just want to get a bunker up. But if it's close spawns, first of all, you're gonna only make 4 Marines. If it's cross spawns, you're gonna want to make 5 Marines. And the logic behind that is that you are gonna assume, let's say your opponent didn't open 15 CC, that you might lose a Marine or two going across the map to their Vulture, right? So you want like an extra Marine. Float the building and bring 2 SCVs. And normally, if my opponent just opened standard and there was a Vulture, I would never do this, right? I would send the tank first to keep the Marines alive, because you need the bunker in this build to win. Because if you just go, let's say you even have 2 tanks and like 4 Marines and a Wraith, and then you just siege them right here, and your opponent played standard, so they have like some Marines and a Vulture and a tank. The second you siege, they're going to pull all their SCVs, and they're going to kill you, and you're going to lose the game. So you need the bunker for the Marines so that they can't like pull the SCVs, or if they try to go Goliaths or whatever, they can't just murder your tanks, because when you siege 2 tanks, they're actually really vulnerable at the beginning of the game to an SCV pull. So it's really all about the bunker, and so some maps aren't as good as other maps to do this build. Like Radion isn't going to be as good because you have to go so far in to their natural to build a bunker, and then also on Radion with the cliff, their tanks can actually shoot all the way across the natural when you're like squeezed in and on Radion, and same with Deja Vu. This map is so good because you can actually tuck the tanks right here, use the Wraith or a building for vision, and they will actually just stop mining, and you don't even need to kill your opponent's natural with this build, right? You really just need them to not have this access to this gas. So if you can get them to lift off, then that's good, and they're contained too. So the only reason I'm doing this, just to reiterate, is because it was a quick CC. So, and maybe I'll throw up another video of me doing this. I do this very often on ladder because TVTs are really long and I don't want to play them all the time. I need some coffee. So second tank, siege, and now here's the thing. You'll have enough gas when this Wraith is finished to build another Wraith or another tank. And so I build another Wraith, and then I get a Vulture pretty much every time. There's some circumstances where you got to go Cloak. You're going to want to get a control tower. And actually, this is one of those circumstances where I will do it, but this game I just decided not to. Because a lot of times, and it's a guess by the way, but a lot of times people who go 15cc go Starport. And so when I am doing 111 versus 15cc, sometimes I'll blindly go Control Tower after my first Wraith to get Cloak, because it's so common that they're going to go Wraith because they assume they're going to get contained, and so they want to get a quick Wraith. And so I just want the air dominance of having the faster Wraith, get Cloak, and then I'll just camp my Wraiths over there. But most of the time, you're going to want to go second Wraith, Vulture. And then, so like I said, after your second tank, you're going to want to get Siege. Here's a quick note, too. If you're doing 1-1-1 and your opponent doesn't expand, okay, and they go 2-fact, let's say, with no expansion. Let's say that you get the scout off or something. Then you don't want to get Siege. I know people think that it's like, oh, I want to get Siege so I can siege my tanks and defend the 2-fact. Well, they're going to have like speed and mines, and they're going to roll you. You actually want to save the gas and just keep making tanks in that scenario. So if they're one base, don't even bother getting Siege. Like, Siege is good to, if you can like siege their natural, but if you're on one port and they go 2-fact, you just want more tanks. And like early in the game, if they have 3 tanks and they siege, then you just run into them. It's only a few tanks, you bring some SCVs, you just run into them. So the gas is so tight here, just a note about that. So like I said, I'll go Vulture, and then I'll go second Wraith here. Okay, usually I make the Vulture faster. Apparently I go third tank here, and that's probably because of this situation and I had the gas. So normally I'd go Vulture. After all that ranting about it, I made a third tank. Hilarious. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it, because this guy went 15cc. And then I'll throw up like a second video of this to show it if the opponent opens standard, because this is kind of a little bit... It's the same exact build, but this is a little bit too easy because the way the guy opened. And he goes speed Vultures and tries to run around and all that stuff. So let me find another one really quick. Okay, so I actually don't win this game. This guy is... I think he's S now. He was like 2200 when I played this game, which is like way better than me. The highest I've ever gotten on ladders is 2200, but at the end of the season. So being that 2200 that early in the season, this guy's probably like a solid S player. later in the season. But I wanted to show it to kind of reiterate what I said in the first video, and then also at the same time I figured I skipped through and watched a little bit of this replay. People were also talking about that they don't even know how to defend the 111, and like I was emphasizing, it's all about the bunker. And so we'll go over the build one more time, and then you guys will see how you stop it and what I was talking about as far as like how weak the build is if you don't get the bunker up, right? So again, 11 gas, slam down the factory, make a marine, pause at 16 supply, throw down your second depot, 4 marines. Okay. After the starport and the machine shop's going, you make your third depot, lift off your building and float it. I blocked the machine shop with a supply depot because I got in just to delay his own tank production. And he knows it's one base, so he's gonna go armory. See, he does a good job with this vulture. He gets 2 marines. And then I'm just gonna show you guys, like, I try to get see what I was saying? This is how you stop this. Okay? He got a couple marines with his vulture, so he's already doing good. He loses his vulture, that sucks. And then he immediately pulls because he knows that if I get this bunker up right here, and then I get some tank siege, like, he's totally doomed, right? He's only on 1 fact, and he doesn't have any anti-air yet, right? He's just got these 2 marines, and my rate's a little weak, so, but this is how you stop this. You immediately go, pull the boys, like, look how many more workers he has than me because you have to cut so hard, and you stop this bunker from going up. And so we have a little micro session here, and his repair right here is so good, it's actually crazy. I can't believe that this tank lived. And then it dies, but the repair was so good. And then so I don't have a bunker, so like this isn't as good as you would think, Like, I want to get the barracks here in my mind just to keep, talking about what I'm thinking here. So that he doesn't have vision, so I can, keep harassing the mineral line for free in case he gets more tanks. Yeah, even here, see how strong the SCVs are because I don't have a bunker? So that's pretty much the end of the push here. But the build is all the same. Everything that I'm doing. See, I go vulture like I was trying to say in the last video. Look at how fast he knows, right? And so if you guys are playing versus someone who's doing this, if you guys scout and there's no CC, right? And then your other indicator is there's more than 2 Marines and there's no CC, because it's very uncommon that someone's going to make their command center back here, but people do it, or on their high ground on a different map. They'll do it just to like mess with you. This is exactly what you guys should do. You should go, machine shop, and you should get your armory off of 1 fact, and ideally, and you need the bunker, obviously. Like, that's the first thing that you should do. If there's no CC, you should make the bunker. And I would say this should probably actually be a little further out, just so that you can build another one behind it once this one dies. Because if it's a 2 fact, your bunker is going to die. And so you want this a little further out. And then you need to bring your barracks back. See how he's bringing it back? The second you know that a push is coming, you need this back for vision. Okay? This is exactly how you play it. And then once you realize it's 1-1-1 and not a 2 fact, you need to stop this from happening. If it's a 2 fact, then you can't do this, right? Because the push, first of all, would come later, and I would have like 3 tanks and vultures. Like, you'd never be able to come out and do this versus a 2 fact. So This is exactly how you want to play it. You're ahead in workers. It's okay to like fight with the SCVs and lose some, as you guys can see here. And he loses a lot more. I mean, the worker count's like almost even after this engagement is over. But the guy's got his second CC, so then he builds up the workers and gets ahead. So that's pretty much it. If you can stop the bunker from going up, then you can stop this build. I mean, the SCVs are so strong here. It's actually wild. And I could have done a lot better here. Like looking at my minerals and everything, like it's a lot of multitasking, all that micro. But I have really high minerals. Like I could have a CC so long ago and be making a tank here, and I'm just not able to hit the multitasking and do this at the same time. And that was bad too, that tank being up there. See, the worker count's getting closer and closer. So, not even. He's still a couple workers ahead, and his CC is done. So, like a better Terran, if this wasn't me, would have already had this CC and maybe could have, made this work still. Yeah, but that's how you do it. You stop it, and then also, I probably could have gone cloak here. Would have been a lot better than keep making wraiths, especially considering I got that barracks, and so he couldn't go academy. So maybe this game it would have been, in hindsight, looking at it, it would have been better for me to go to cloak maybe after my second wraith or something. Just considering I got that barracks, but I didn't think about it in the game. So I hope that helps. The build is super straightforward. 11 gas, 4 marines. Starport, and then third depot after you get your machine shop and your starport, in that order, and then just squeeze in SCVs when you can. And like I said, that's kind of a thing that you're gonna have to figure out as you're playing the game. As you do this build, rather, you're gonna be able to figure out where you can squeeze them in, and then one tank wraith, second tank siege after your second tank. Don't get siege before you need the second tank. And then you get siege, okay? And a lot of times right here is where you're going to need to cut an SCV to actually have the minerals after you get this this second tank right here. Let me just go back to where it starts so I can point out what I'm saying here, because this is actually kind of important. So second tank, and then I don't have the minerals to get siege right away, and I know it seems like it's close enough, but if I was to make an SCV here, I'd be really far away because I have the gas to get siege, right? So no SCV here, get siege. See, so I had an SCV going before, and then I pause, and I'm pausing again here. So because look how tight this is, right? Like the second this wraith is going to finish, I'll have just enough gas to get another one. And so now I have no gas for another tank, so I'm going to add a vulture. If I wasn't going to make the second wraith, then I could afford a third tank. And then, like I said, verse 2 fact, you're going to want to not get this, and then you'll be able to get a third tank and a wraith at the same time. So I hope that helps. There's a video of it being successful and a video of it failing. So if someone's doing it to you, now hopefully you know how to defend it. Just pull the boys, just like this guy, right away. Do not let this thing get up. Do not let the bunker finish. That should be your whole goal, and just get the armory off of one factory. And this guy goes second fact instead of siege. If I see someone one basing, I'll usually try to rush siege. But this guy's he's obviously confident in his ability to defend. And so he goes siege after his second factory. So there you go, guys. I hope that helps. I just woke up, so this isn't the greatest detailed video. There you go.